Ferreira. Mick Fanning will be up against Pete Durbridge. And right now, heading the lineup, Jeremy Flores and Owen Wright. One of these surfers is going to be taking on Adriano de Souza in quarterfinal number 3.
So we'll see if he can re-engage here in this round 5 matchup with O-Dog. And Jeremy Flores, much quicker tempo than Owen Wright. So if you're Jeremy, you're going to try and expose him in that way, stay really flashy and quick. Owen, slower tempo, but always on point. Well, as soon as I say that, he just gets messed up with that backwash.
And Pete's in the past, Jeremy winning 3 of them, but Owen getting the last over there in Fiji this year. And here is Owen now, using priority on this wave. Wants to sharpen up his act a little bit in this round 5 heat. As he works this one over, just has that smooth flow, gets the fins free on that turn, and kicks out before the wave. Bottoms out in the sandbar. Jeremy Flores chasing him through to the inside now. And he gets a clean finish too. But here is the replay of Jeremy's last wave. A beautiful wall in front of him, Ross.
Crispy start there. I love how fast Jeremy surfs. He has a ton of speed throughout those whippy carves. You know, and this wave pretty good so far, but he needed a solid finish, to be honest. And he got that nice clean re-entry right on the closeout. So that's a nice way to start your heat. Just bag a nice score, calm the nerves. Again, slower tempo for Owen Wright, but he is always buttery smooth. And he has a ton of power. One of the taller surfers on tour. He has a long surfboard under his feet compared to most guys on tour. And the cool thing for Owen, he has a lot of rail in the water. With that bigger equipment,
he's not going that quick, but have a look at this. You can see there's some speed involved as he drives up into that first section. Just keeping that down the line flow with the second maneuver. Now just committing and rounding out that third turn. And really working this one over. Great combination of maneuvers, a lot of variety in these turns. And he kicks on out, pretty happy with himself.
If his limbs weren't the way they are, you know, it would be so visible. But because he's got such perfect technique, everything looks nice. This turn right here is right on the money. Bingo, a lot of spray. He's able to get so much speed out of his turns. That's why he never weaves, he never bobbles, certainly doesn't bounce between turns. He's just such a smooth operator.
Yeah, I think there'll be some fireworks as long as the waves show up. Yeah, very similar approaches. Both will show a power game, and yeah, like Mick's a great friend, but we'll just put that aside for that 30 minutes and have a good old battle.
And Bede, with 3 events left on the tour, what is your goal for the rest of the season?
Yeah, just to get on a roll for these last 3 events, and I came here really wanting to...
Scores in for Owen Wright on his last wave, an 8.9. Gets an excellent score on the board. And Jeremy Flores now in second spot. He needs a 7.18 to get back into the lead. And during the interview, Jeremy actually had this ride.
So you can see how much speed, a lot more water riding on the top of the surface for Jeremy, just skimming across this wave. And because he has that kind of technique, he really flies down the line, but never really leaned into a heavy maneuver. Nice clean tail slide there, but because he didn't have that explosive, heavy, girthy turn, the score was just mediocre, just a 6.1.
Jeremy Flores, without priority, he's keeping busy. Chasing a 7.18, digs into the first section and drifts that tail, doesn't ride out of the second move. And Owen Wright now uses his priority on what is a beautiful looking wave. Climbs up into the first section, gets a little hung up, but he's still got plenty of wall to work with. Just glides through a beautiful backhand carve for the second turn and then starts to drift the tail on the third maneuver and gets a big finish. A number of major turns. And you can tell with the exit that he likes it. Jeremy Flores now. He needs to step things up, and he does with a really clean wrap. And he gets a solid finish too. Critical turn, great exchange. Watch for the paddle battle. The crowd letting the boys know that they appreciate.
Tip of the cap from the judges in the form of an extra point over Jeremy. Nice start there, but as you mentioned, he got slightly hung up. Beautiful bottom turn into a nice wrap. And then he reconnects with a heavier move right there. That was definitely the best turn of that wave. And then he got the finish. That wave was a 10. I mean, as soon as he stood up, basically you could just kind of come backwards from a 10. You know, not many mistakes for Owen, and almost got there, the 9.6. And I love these wraps right here. This second one from Jeremy, really fast. Nice little zip off the back end of that carve, through some spray. Better one right there, really engaged the rail. And a pretty solid finish there. Just a little hung up for a split second, but he managed to ride out of it.
If Jeremy can convert it into a near perfect ride, he's got some speed. And he throws everything into that first section. He's going to ride out of this maneuver. That is a trademark turn for Flores. Super exciting, but unfortunately not much else left on that wave. All the meat was really in that first section. Super difficult. And the body just gets so contorted here. Under the lip, inverted, upside down for a moment. Just buries the nose of his board in and brings that thing around, Ross.
Yeah, really cool. You can see he got cramped, nowhere to go, so he said, you know what, I'll just grab my rail and cork this thing around. So super aggressive, and you're not going to get much more committed to that.
9.83, and it looks like that score is going to fall in the 6-point range. He's up once again, and it's a medium-sized wall, so he needs something really special here. And it seems like he almost knows that this heat might be out of his reach as he makes his way in. But a great performance in the Quicksilver Pro, one of his best. But Owen Wright is going to move through to the quarters and maintain that title pace with Fanning, De Souza and Julian Wilson.